suddenly had a major kind of life milestone happen, and it made me look back, as you often do, to see where you've come from. And I was shocked by how much I couldn't remember. So I really wanted to come into this process and make something that would be so in the moment and so captured that it would be like a timestamp. And to do that, it's not a reality show. It's not edited. It has to have some bad stuff in it too. And I was rummaging through, reading some stuff about memory. I often look up just bulk words, like topics and theories about what I'm thinking about. And I looked up memory and I found just this beautiful word, phrase, but it literally means a memory aid. And I'm like, that's what I need, that's what I'm seeking. Yeah, it's something you plan that you're gonna want to remember later. And I want to remember this. So I'm doing everything I can to capture it. So when we look back, it'll feel alive and it'll feel just like we were there.
So packed, I don't have time. No time left to get on with my life.
When Val first approached me about it, it was actually just kind of a vague email. We hadn't spoken in a couple of weeks or whatever, and he just hit me up. He's like, "So, what are you doing this summer? What do you got planned?" And I was like, "I don't know, going to the beach, like what are you doing in the summers," kind of thing. So we just kind of got to talking, and it was like a travel out to Omaha, make a record, play the whole thing. I was like, yeah, sign me up right away.
Later he gave me a call and he said that he wanted to know if I'd be interested in recording a record, and he wanted to do a live record. I was completely interested because I wasn't doing anything at the time, and I was ready to play, and I enjoy working on Val's tunes. I always like his songs, and so I was ready to go.
Knowing Val and kind of following him over the years, I thought it'd be a great opportunity to play, obviously with Val, to continue playing with Rob. The one thing I think that kind of enticed me was the fact that everything was going to be recorded live. As terrifying as that sounds, it was also sort of what attracted me in some ways, more so than any other project that I'd been involved with.
I came up to his apartment in Jersey City, and we're doing a little bit of rehearsing, and after rehearsal was done, it was just the two of us. He kind of pitched the idea to me, and I fell in love with it from the beginning, and it was right up my alley, exactly what I wanted to do. It was a chance to travel, it was a chance to make music with some great people that I really respect.
I had so much fun working on the live record I did with Jason, the Sunlight Search Party, that I wanted to go back to that, but condense it, use the lessons we learned, go quicker, and just take away the anything that didn't feel natural. And it was just about finding the right people.
I had been telling him about Omaha and the studio here, another recording company, and some of the experiences that we've had here, and became, let's go to Omaha and make a record with a band.
Back then I was a tight end, I touched the ceiling. But these days, so many fears and aches that keep me seated. So many things to do that I don't wanna do. I'm so fatigued.
couldn't be happier with the group that gelled together in a very natural kind of semi-mystical way, and they just adopted these songs and followed my lead as far as here's the order, just make it what you can, and they've done a beautiful job.
Definitely an energy like in the room of everybody playing, and just being able to make that eye contact with the other person, which, you know, is hard to achieve when you're the only one in the room tracking by yourself and everything.
Having that connection, and you know, there's nothing, you know, it's something you can't get from, you know, overdubs and overdubs and overdubs. You know, there's only one way to get that process, you know, and that type of thing, and I think we got it.
I mean, that's like pretty extreme, but it's almost like a wolf.
Yeah.
And like, but then you have to get back to the, I mean, not for the whole song.
You know, you're trying to, you know, obviously perform, but you're trying to feed off of, you know, your bandmates. And, you know, it's a team effort, you know, so that you can't exactly go around pointing blame, but, you know, you don't necessarily want to be the guy that messes that up.
It's so scratchy. It's not smooth.
You know, not to be cheesy or whatever, but yeah, honest would be a good one-word answer for that, I think, because we are trying to be super honest about the whole process, even the things that are, you know, not going your way all the time or whatever, you know, or if something's turning out not exactly how you thought it would or whatever. That's the whole point, is that whatever is happening in this 10-day period is what's going to be captured and what is going to be released as an album.
A culture built on guesstimation, gossip cloud of our creation. So I'm calling all the experts, anybody know the truth? I'm calling all the experts, maybe they'll know what to do. I'm calling all the experts, all of my interludes, and all the facts and beats, the rumors that nobody cares to prove. Just tell me what it's supposed to do.
Making records isn't always fun. It's often hard. So my idea this time was to just try to make it as fun as possible, and I guess that's to make it as natural as possible.
I think the intention is just to remove maybe the typical constraints that Val puts on his music. I know he's very specific and wants to like craft his songs. And this, I thought, was the sort of antithesis of that, and exercising like the looseness and the rawness of music.
I don't think you should go any like crisper, but I could hear it being even
Thicker?
even thicker and woofier.
Really?
I mean, because we're covering so much
Yeah.
at high end.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
It
don't
already feels
mind.
pretty bright, especially with all the drums and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could.
I,
you-
I like. I mean, I do like it. I just kind of wanted to.
I'd have to see an option B.
Yeah. I don't have one
Yeah.
at the moment, other than like, you know, coming back off, you know, cleaner. But that would put me in sonically in the same. Definitely your territory.
What about
Unless you want like a deeper, I have a deeper fuzz.
I could get deeper on it. You know, just. No, I'm good with it actually. You know. Just sit with it.
I
guess.
can even see it being a little more just crappy.
Really?
Like
Okay.
I don't know.
I can do it.
I mean, if there's any song to do it where it's
Sure.
just like
Yeah.
on the brink of breaking up,
Yeah.
and losing, you know.
Sure.
of like just like the putting yourself in a position where it's like fail, succeed, and it's like you purposely put yourself right in the middle of it so that, you know, like one pebble, failure, one pebble, succeed, and I feel like that is there's probably a better word for it, but that's what I'm feeling like.
How do you feel the pebbles are stacked at this point?
It had its own magic.
Yeah. I feel like the ending was superior on the first one.
Absolutely, yeah.
But the beginning, whatever. It's not. I dropped a little bit.
It's like two
Like my solo on
songs.
that last one.
So we'll just do the real song, and then we'll leave the magic.
All on the jam. Yeah, and even the that was all really good.
I will go to electric on that one.
I think Val tells a great story, really colorful. You know, I kind of hope in a lot of ways that people kind of latch on more to the storytelling part of it, because there's some great stories going on.
When I grow up, I'll build an elevator straight up to the sky. And I'll tell God he best move over, give someone else a try. 'Cause I see too many people smiling when they really wanna cry. I'll fly west and I'll fly east and all the way down south, spreading seeds of happiness like raindrops from a cloud. But I can't watch the faces change, I've got too much work to stick around. My dad says that's quite naive, that it ain't an easy fix. Someday I will see it all for what it really is. But I tell him I like the story more the way I tell it.
It's like a cleanse.
Do you feel, what's cleansing about it?
Accepting your warts and I don't know, this has been like rejuvenating to me. I'm getting some stuff out.
I don't think there's any better way to, you know, see America than out of the back seat of a van or the front seat of the windshield, for that matter. You know, just seeing stuff pass you by, and you know, you develop a little bit of a connection to the people you're with, you know, along the way, and you know, running jokes and stuff. And by the time you get there, it's, you know, you've achieved this, you know, closeness that you could only get, you know, by spending that much time with somebody, you know, with a group of people.
What a... Oh, here's a couple, 2 or 3 chords. I'll give you something.
Hi. Hi, guys. Hi. Hi, guys. Hi. Hi, guys.
3 of them?
Yeah, because it's going to start feedback. Hi. Hi, guys.
The idea of even attempting to pull her from that fertile ground seems insane. Thus, she was lovely, but not someone I lusted after with any real intentions. But last spring, on one of the first warm nights of the season, I was sitting outside in my boxer shorts.
Aesthetics. Just make sure there's no lights.
dudes just hanging out and having fun, making music, as opposed to you know, being at home and going to the studio during the day, but then having to come home and go to a day job and go home and stuff like that. Like, just kind of put everything else aside and, you know, just do it like that, capture that moment in time.
I only want to do it again because it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
That's a great reason.
And I think I can
Isn't
get
that,
that one spot.
isn't that why we're fucking here? Because this is fun?
What we talked about beforehand was doing sonic documentation of something. So whatever shape the band was in, whatever shape the songs were in, like whatever shape we were in personally and like mood-wise and everything, just capturing that exactly as best we could with what we had and setting a time limit so it just had to be an absolute documentation of this 10-day period that we had set aside to not only record the record but also mix the record and master the record a few days later, and then that's it, it just gets released. So it's like stunt recording kind of, you know?
It was key that it was short and sweet and kind of reckless. So everyone knew what the deal was to start.
You know, older and wiser if it was going to be simplified. And I'm sure if we went to do this again in 2 years or 5 years or whatever, it would be a totally different process. So, but this has been super fun. I really like the band, and you know, obviously love the songs. I think my favorite collection of Val songs. I know I say that every time.
It's like the theme of the record seems to have that idea of like, you know, growing up and kind of losing that like childlike excitement and that kind of like, you know, the kind of, it's like optimism, and then like kind of trying to like recapture it and like pass it on.
You know, the closeness of the band, you know, and really trying to make this a group effort, you know, and coming out here together, and you know, we're all in it, you know, at this point, and we're not leaving until it's done. Hopefully that gets conveyed, that, you know, our convictions are to give people a really great glimpse into the recording process that we've embarked on.
I just think that it's going to be a nice treat to the listeners' ears. It's just going to sound like a group of guys in a room feeding off of one another.
All the mistakes bleed into each other. You know, like everyone's mics pick up everyone else's mics, so we're all it's one cohesive unit that's playing together. And I think that was the point where you can just sort of be free of like worrying about making it perfect and just make it something that lives.
The thing is, as if it does sound darker, the feeling I get from this album is very uplifting. There's a certain expunging of those by talking about them, these questions that we all think of, or at least I do, about life as you get older, and there's a time limit at the end. You just there's a rejoicing in the record too.
Would you say that this is your most personal record?
Walking by a giant hall of mirrors, I am everywhere, but somehow I am still so slow to find myself, thinking that the only way is to forget, putting all my energy to someone else. Tomorrow is a chance for me to smile wide, a chance for me to kill little life, giving some back is only right.